Let me show you something most people never notice. Two people can earn the same salary, live in the same city, be the same age, and still live in completely different realities. One person gets paid on Friday and feels relief for about 6 hours. The other gets paid on Friday and barely thinks about it. One person is always almost okay. The other person is slowly becoming free. Same income. Different habits. Different future. And that's what this video is about. Because most people do not know whether they are actually doing well financially or just doing a very convincing impression of someone who is. Today, I'm going to show you 15 signs that tell you if you are quietly winning with money, even if you do not feel rich yet. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which side of the line you're standing on. Hey, I'm Elon. And on this channel, we talk about money in a way that actually makes sense. No fake flexing. No guru nonsense. No boring lecture full of words nobody uses in real life. Just the truth, broken down simply. And today, we are doing something important. We are not talking about looking rich. We are talking about being stable. Because in today's world, those are not the same thing. You can look successful and still be one bad month away from panic. You can look ordinary and still be building a life that gets stronger every year. So let's walk through the real signs. Before we start the list, there's one thing we need to fix in your mind. A lot of people think, if I'm normal, I must be fine. But normal is not always healthy. Normal can mean stressed. Normal can mean underprepared. Normal can mean living close to the edge and calling it adulthood. That is why this matters so much. Because the goal is not to be average. The goal is to be strong enough that life does not knock you over every time something goes wrong. So here are the real signs. The first sign you are doing better than most people is simple. You have an emergency fund. Think of life like a road. Even a good road has potholes. A flat tire. A broken phone. A doctor visit. A bad month. A surprise bill. If every pothole damages the whole car, then your finances are too fragile. That's what an emergency fund does. It is the shock absorber. It takes the hit so your whole life doesn't rattle apart. If you have even a few months of expenses saved, you are not just holding cash. You are holding peace. Because money in that account changes how problems feel. A repair becomes annoying instead of terrifying. A surprise becomes manageable instead of dangerous. That is a huge difference. The second sign. You are contributing to retirement. Even if it's not a huge amount. Because this is where real wealth begins to separate from wishful thinking. A lot of people say they care about the future. But contributions are proof. Retirement investing is like planting a tree. At first, it looks small. Almost silly. Like nothing important is happening. But the people who plant early are the ones sitting in the shade later. If you are putting money into retirement now, even steadily and quietly, you are doing something future you will be unbelievably grateful for. That is not dramatic. That is powerful. The third sign. You pay your credit card in full. This is one of the clearest dividing lines in personal finance. Because credit cards can either be a tool or a trap dressed as convenience. When someone pays the full balance every month, they are using the card. When someone carries the balance month after month, the card is using them. Interest turns yesterday's spending into tomorrow's burden. And it grows quietly. That's why paying your card off in full is not a tiny habit. It is a major signal that you are in control of your money instead of borrowing your lifestyle from the future. The fourth sign. You invest consistently. Saving money is good. But investing is what gives money a job. Cash is like a worker sitting on a bench. Investing sends that worker onto the field. And over years, that matters more than most people realize. Not because investing is exciting. Usually it's the opposite. Real investing is often boring. Automatic. Simple. Repeated. Quiet. But boring money habits can create extraordinary results if you leave them alone long enough. If your money is steadily going into the market instead of just sitting still forever, you are playing a smarter game than a lot of people. The fifth sign. You save more than 10% of your income. This one matters because income alone does not build freedom. Plenty of people earn good money and still stay stuck. Why? Because every raise turns into a bigger life instead of a stronger future. Saving a meaningful percentage creates distance between what you earn and what you spend. And that distance is everything. That distance becomes options, investments, breathing room, and eventually freedom. If you consistently keep a meaningful piece of what you earn, you are not just making money. You are keeping power. The sixth sign. Your net worth is positive. That means when you add up what you own and subtract what you owe, you are above zero. It sounds basic, but it matters. Because a lot of people look successful while their balance sheet tells a very different story. Positive net worth means your progress is real. Maybe small. Maybe early. Maybe not flashy. But real. And real matters more than appearance. Because you cannot build freedom on fake numbers. The seventh sign. Your car situation is healthy. Maybe the car is paid off. Maybe the payment is small and sensible. Either way, the point is this. The car is helping your life move. It is not dragging your whole budget underwater. A lot of people quietly wreck their finances with vehicles. Not because cars are bad. Because status is expensive. When transportation becomes performance, cash flow suffers. But when transportation stays practical, money stays free for more important things. A healthy car situation is a bigger sign of stability than many people realize. The eighth sign. You track your spending. Not perfectly, but honestly. You know what comes in. You know what goes out. You know where the leaks are. This matters because money disappears most easily when it stays invisible. Untracked spending is like having tiny holes in your backpack. Nothing seems dramatic in the moment. But over time, a lot falls out. Tracking gives you awareness. Awareness gives you control. And control changes outcomes. If you know you're spending clearly, you already have something many people do not. A real relationship with your own numbers. The ninth sign. Your credit score is strong. Not because it makes you special. Because it shows repeated discipline over time. A good score usually means you've been paying attention. Paying on time, keeping balances under control, not living in complete financial chaos. And that discipline matters far beyond the score itself. Because better credit often means cheaper borrowing. And cheaper borrowing means less money wasted. A strong score is not magic. It is a receipt for consistent behavior. The 10th sign. You understand basic money concepts. You do not need to be a financial genius. But you should understand the basics. What compound interest is. How retirement accounts work. Why bad debt hurts. Why index funds matter. How taxes change outcomes. This matters because not knowing money rules is expensive. And the bill does not arrive all at once. It arrives slowly, through bad choices that looked harmless at the time. If you understand the simple rules underneath money, you can see traps before you step into them. That alone puts you ahead. The 11th sign. You have insurance that protects your life. Life insurance. Disability coverage. Health coverage. The right protection for your situation. It's not glamorous. But real stability is not just about making progress. It is also about making sure one bad event does not erase years of progress. A financially healthy person does not only ask, "How do I grow?" They also ask, "How do I survive a hit?" That is what protection does. The 12th sign. You do not avoid needed medical care because of cost. This is bigger than people think. Because money problems get much worse when health problems get delayed. Ignoring a small issue to save money often becomes a much bigger issue later. So if you can go to the doctor, fill the prescription, or handle a health bill without everything collapsing, that is real stability. It means your money is supporting your life, not blocking it. The 13th sign. You have more than one source of income. This matters because depending on one paycheck is like standing on one leg. You can do it. But if something hits, you wobble fast. A second stream changes that. It could be side work, dividends, freelance income, rent from property, anything extra. But the key is this. It should strengthen your future, not just save your month. That changes everything. Because once money can come from more than one door, you stop feeling trapped by just one. The 14th sign. You resisted lifestyle creep. This one is sneaky because it often feels harmless. You get a raise. So life gets nicer. A little better apartment. A little better car. A few more comforts. And suddenly your higher income disappears into a bigger life. That's lifestyle creep. The dangerous part is that it feels deserved. And maybe it is. But if every raise goes straight into more monthly obligation, freedom never gets a chance to grow. If your income rose and your spending did not rise at the same speed, that is a major sign of intelligence and restraint. And here is the biggest sign of all. You are not living paycheck to paycheck. This is the real divider. Because when every paycheck is already assigned before it arrives, you are not really choosing your life. You are servicing it. No room. No pause. No cushion. No flexibility. But when you have margin, savings, buffer, breathing room, something changes. You can think. You can choose. You can absorb a hit. You can leave bad situations. You can make moves from strength instead of fear. That is what financial stability really is. Not just money in an account. Freedom in your decisions. So what do these 15 signs really tell us? They tell us that financial health usually does not look dramatic. It looks quiet. A funded savings account. A paid-off card. Steady investing. A reasonable car. A boring habit repeated for years. A life with margin. That's the truth most people miss. Because we are trained to notice big salaries, fancy upgrades, visible status. But real financial strength often grows in silence. It grows through habits that are easy to ignore, easy to postpone, and easy to underestimate. That's why two people with the same income can end up in completely different lives. Not because one got lucky, but because one built stability on purpose. So the real question is not, do I look like I'm doing okay? The real question is, am I building a life that gets stronger every year? That's the line that matters. If this video gave you something real to think about, subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't talk about fake success. We talk about what actually builds financial freedom in real life. And in the comments, tell me this. How many of these 15 signs do you honestly have right now?